We're going to open with Kayleen McCabe. You have seen her on DIY channel, and she has blessed us here with her presence today. And so we're excited to hear what she has to offer. Welcome to the stage. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, folks. Thanks. It's hard to see all you folks out here in this very crowded arena. My name is Kayleen McCabe. I'm a general contractor out of Denver, Colorado. Residential has been my focus for the past number of years, and I was blessed to then translate that experience into having my own television show on the DIY network. Now, that was a great, amazing experience. Having your own television show is a wonderful opportunity. I had actually worked in television for a few years behind the scenes as well. So I worked on Trading Spaces, I worked on Bad Bad Bath, and so I was familiar with the construction industry represented through television. And I was very excited to have the opportunity to host my own television show. I thought for a moment that there would be this clique. I would get to educate homeowners. We would get to go in projects, and I would have the opportunity to discuss with them where they got stuck and what went wrong. And believe me, I saw a lot of stuff that went wrong. Things that were going wrong that I couldn't even believe that homeowners were choosing to do their own house. One of my goals in life is to get the big box stores to put a note on their sledgehammers that says, do you know what you're doing with this when you're done with it? And if not, you can't buy it, because homeowners will do disastrous things to their houses. And there's a few reasons for that. One, we are in the time where folks can do their own work. It's great. Being a DIYer is really empowering. It's wonderful to get to go to the store and buy components and then maybe give your room a new fresh coat of paint, or perhaps set some cabinets, which there was a show on for a while where they would redo a whole kitchen while they were out to dinner. And I was like, what are they at, Babette's Feast? This is a very long, long dinner that they are at, because how do you install cabinets that fast? How do you install tile? How do you get the things to dry? I'm not familiar with these products. And so after 5 seasons of doing rescue renovation, I made the decision that I needed to do more. I love construction. I breathe sawdust. I joke that I travel with my dovetail saws because there was an article I read years ago that you have to do a dovetail a day, and it's my moment of zen. And so I travel with my Lee Valley saws, and when I'm on the road, I'm in the hotel room at night practicing my dovetails. And I know the maids come in the next morning, and they're like, where is this sawdust coming from? It makes no sense. But TSA has recently started to actually confiscate my dovetail saws because they're over 7 inches, and I'm not quite sure if they think I'm going to challenge the pilot to a jointing competition. But sawdust makes me happy, and if I don't make it every few days, I actually get sad. And it's not because it's the sawdust itself or the power tools, which, believe me, I love power tools more than anything. It's the fact that I am an artist. We all are artists. Our art and our medium is translated through wood, and it doesn't matter what it is. I believe that framing is an art. I started as a framer, and I joked that I went into installing hardwood floors and tile because I got tired of the drywallers covering up all my good work. To make a framing look good takes a little bit of effort. And so I realized over time that, yes, I am a contractor and I'm a woodworker. I have a shop in my backyard that I love making a mess in, but I'm an artist. I build pieces of art that people live in. I build pieces of art that people take for granted all the time, and that makes me insanely happy. And then sometimes it actually makes me mad because it took me a long, long time to figure out that that was a great career, that I could work in construction and be satiated not only financially, but with how I was spending my time every day. And I am blessed to have finally found this because, believe me, outside of doing construction, working on television shows, I was a 911 dispatcher for a long time. I was a probation officer, too, for a long time, which was awkward. When I had the TV show, people would come up and recognize me, and I'd be like, oh, do you know me from TV, or were you a client of mine? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, go get a job. So because I am passionate about this and I truly love working in the industry, it makes me delighted to be here. I realized that I could do good with the television show by not having it anymore. That I could actually do the best by leveraging my fame to talk to the public about the realities of television. That no, a project does not happen in a half an hour. There's so much planning that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, think about it. Think about how much math goes into a project. Do you know how boring it is to watch me do math in my head? Watch. Right? Count on your fingers forever. Everybody does it. It's boring, so we have to edit out a lot of things. But when television shows start to edit out certain components, we give an unrealistic view of what it means to work in the industry. That we are there to take your money, that we're all drunks and dropouts, that we really don't like what we're doing. And that's false. That's 100% a lie. I work with the greatest craftsmen I've ever met. I would love to see more young ladies in the industry as well. But the reality is we're all very passionate about this. We love what we do. We're happy to be working in it. And television just wasn't quite doing enough in expressing and sharing that. And so for the last 7 years, I have actually traveled not only the country, but now globally to talk to anybody who will listen. Are you breathing? Come get a job in our industry. It doesn't matter. I work with a guy who sets cabinets who only has one hand. What? You can do anything. This is amazing. And the fact right now is that we're so short for people to come work in the industry is that there are so many great opportunities for success. That in fact, you do not have to spend years going to school. You don't even have to pretend to be on a crew team. You can just get a job in our industry. That was a pretty good joke. That's my new favorite one. Meaning that college is not the only pathway to success, that working in construction or woodworking or any of the trades can actually provide not only equal amounts, but perhaps more. Because in our industry, you earn while you learn. We can go onto a job site and an apprentice actually makes money. And an apprentice we should actually start to think about and realize it is as valuable as having a bachelor's degree as being an apprentice. Only I think being an apprentice is probably better because for the same 4 years, you are focused on your course of study. And at no point am I, let's pretend I'm an apprentice welder, I'm gonna have my hood down, I'm about to start a weld, and somebody taps me on the shoulder and goes, hey, Kayleen, we gotta talk about American history for a minute. No, when you're an apprentice, you are learning that thing the entire time, and then there's a great career at the end. And so what an amazing opportunity. And I truly believe that woodworking is the gateway trade. Just like bacon is the gateway meat to all those vegetarians. You have a little bit of bacon, you never want to go back. You make a little bit of sawdust, and then you realize how addicting and enjoyable this entire process is. And so, what a great opportunity we have. Right now in the country, we are 1.5 million people short in filling the trades gap, and that's not including what's going to happen when the baby boomers retire. I'm sorry for all of the baby boomers in the audience, but you can't retire because I need your brain space. I need your knowledge, I need your education, and I need you to help me pass it on to the next generation. Hash browns, I know they're hard to work with, but believe me, they are really interested. These students have technology coming into the industry that we have never seen before. I can dream up anything right now, anything I can possibly think of, and I can go into that showroom floor and find a 6-axis CNC machine that'll make it for me. What fun. What an opportunity to let these young artists start to play and learn, and then learn this craft and realize it takes years to become a master craftsman. And you don't have to be a certain age before you start to put in those hours. You can start right now. You can start at any age, and it doesn't matter. And may we all start earlier than later. I was 5 when my grandfather introduced me to a bandsaw. Still have all my fingers. So obviously safety is a critical component, but then it's also expressing the passion and the love for this and the fact that you are wanted. We want more people into this industry. I want to see AWFS, next year's show, be bigger than CES, where there is a line out the block with people trying to drop folks off from the taxi cab line. It's about time because we need this industry in the U.S. It is not just about working with wood or building cabinets or the components that we put into the things we take for granted. It's the fact that we need these careers and people to work in these careers and be passionate and excited about it because we have a lot of stuff to take care of. We have a lot of things still left to build, and we need to share that enthusiasm. It's been really interesting, too, in my travels. I do a lot of stuff in the States, and I have recently started to go outside the U.S., and it's very interesting when I have the opportunity to do this. I work with a group called Skills USA, and they are in every one of your states. If you aren't familiar with Skills USA, they have a booth here. Please go check them out. They're a great student-run organization for students, but it's also teaching leadership skills alongside their technical skills, which I think there's about 130 different technical components that they teach these students in. Now, the students have competitions in their states, When those students win the competition at the state level, they go to the national level, and then some of those national competitors participate in World Skills, and World Skills has 76 countries in it. I was in Abu Dhabi last year supporting our U.S. competitors. I'll be going to Russia again this year to support our 21-strong team from the U.S. going to World Skills. And what I have found the most fascinating is when I'm there, I take an opportunity to talk to the other educators and business owners, because it's obviously a huge event, and I have heard universally, everybody is hurting for people. It's not like in Germany or in Switzerland, they're great. Kids want to be on their phones. They think it's more interesting. Students think that air conditioning is a great thing to be in. Ugh, it's the worst. Unless you live here, then I totally get it, fine. But it's important to share this and pass it on and keep repeating it, that there are great careers out there. It takes a while to learn, and it's not going to happen overnight. And the places you can go outside of this. Do I believe we should teach every student in school cabinet making? Yes, I do. Do I think they should all become cabinet makers? No, absolutely not. Why? There are machines on that floor that literally will pick up a sheet of plywood, suck it inside of it, do magic, and then spit out a cabinet on the other end. What I need are students who know how to build a cabinet, who then go to school to do electrical engineering, who then come back to run that multi-million-dollar piece of machinery, and they can do it well because they know how a cabinet was made from scratch. Do I think that students should take a cabinet class? Yes. Do I think they should become all cabinet makers? No. But the thing that they are learning is how to solve a problem. My first cabinet I kept, it looks like abstract art. It is not pretty, but I kept it because you learn and you solve problems and you come across things and you have to sound it out. And a lot of times we are not even giving students the opportunity to fail, and we aren't giving them the opportunity to correct their mistakes, and woodworking gives them that opportunity. So it is my mission. I've spoken to almost 1 million students. Actually, I think I've surpassed 1 million students by now. I don't know how many Uber and Lyft drivers or strangers on airplanes I've also talked to. My favorite thing is when I'm at restaurants, I see young ladies who will bring me delicious food. And these young ladies take a sharp pencil and they draw a straight line up against their eyeball. And I'm like, why aren't you welding? It's the same thing. It's like the same amount of talent and skill to draw a straight line up against your eyeball with something pointy. You could do the same thing and weld and make a great career out of it. Or with that precision and finesse, why aren't you down there playing with those chisels and carving beautiful pieces of art that people will put into their homes? The opportunities are endless, and woodworking is the gateway trade. And so something that I want to extend to all of you, if you're an educator in the room, I do public speaking now. It's what I do. I travel a lot. I can tell you all about the cheese sauce in United. It's disgusting now. They've ruined their menu. The fact is, though, it's expensive to have people travel and do public speaking. But for any of the educators out there, I will, for free, Skype into your classroom and talk to your students. Or I will, for free, Skype into your classroom and talk to that one parent who you need help convincing to let their student into your classroom. I want to be your support. I am here cheering you on because I know what we're up to, and it's something fantastic. There are people who spend all their time in offices, and I appreciate and love that, but I cannot be one of them. What I need now is your help. We all have to come together to continue to inspire the next generation of people in the trades, because there are multiple pathways to success. It's not just about college. That is one of them. But working in this industry is also a really viable highway. So thank you folks very much for your time. Have a wonderful rest of your show and a great afternoon. Thank you.